channel. My name is Sean and this is the Fallen Army South African Gaming channel. And today we are back with some more Tokyo Dark to experience what no one else has ever experienced before, because this is pretty dark, pretty strange, and pretty wild. So let us get right down to, without further ado, we're going to be continuing. I think we're on part 5 right now. I can't 100% remember, because I think last time we did a part of the video was, I think, last week. Friday or Saturday, I'm not really sure. So let us get down to it. I know we were heading off with the sister to meet the brother at the dojo, so we can get some more information about the dark. So let us continue on. If we can actually press continue. Sometimes it's a bit delayed, it takes us time. Not always 100% sure why it happens like that, but we got it, Okay, so it looks like we're continuing off. We continue off where we left off after we left the grandmother's house, so... So we gotta go on... Go on. Let's see. I'm sorry. She's gotten much worse since the last time I saw her. No, it's fine. What do you think she told us about that story anyway? About... I don't know. It was kind of creepy, wasn't it? She was talking about it like she believed it. Come on. Let's go see Takashi. Yeah, so we are done in there, so we can actually vamoose. Okay, whoa, where do you think you're going? Mai and I are leaving, what of it? Oh, well, you can't. I got a call from Mai's grandmother and she says she's having health issues, so she has to stay. I don't ask what they were. Wouldn't want to be caught fainting on my shift again, but it must be pretty bad if she's called. Mai's an adult. Her grandmother can't keep her here. Let's go. No, you don't understand. You're not going anywhere. Use violence. We only have option to call use violence. Okay. We'll just have to find another way out, I guess. There must be another way out of this village town. We can pick up the dead bird. What? Why? Okay, we can't go to the shrine, so I wonder if we maybe used the dead bird on that dude. Ugh, good thing I'm wearing gloves. There's better work. Okay, so we got the rest of the dead birdie. I think we're just gonna toss this thing at him. Show dead bird. Oh my god. I told you about how I don't like I'm about the blood and blood. No, really, my thing, you see, the germs and okay, I'm dizzy. I'm a little dizzy. Just going to he's out cold. Oh dear, did he just faint? Sure looks like it. He'll be fine. Let's get on the move. Okay, so I don't think we have any other choice except we're going to visit the brother now. Wow, it's super loud in here, but yeah, let's just get ourselves going. Wow, it's super loud now, the sound, eh? Whoa. Mai, what are you doing here? Did she make you come? It's not like that, Takashi. It's my idea. I asked her to come and talk to you, but you sent her away. This woman almost got you killed. You expect me to cooperate with her? Surely if you need to talk to me, you can come yourself. My sister doesn't need to be involved. No. If I came along alone, you would just evade all my questions like you always do. Besides, there's something I need to see. See what? What are you talking about? Where did you get that? Put it away. So you do know what it is. I knew you were hiding something from me. That's not true. I wasn't hiding it. It's not something you would ever need to know about. Besides, why is she carrying it in the first place? Wait, don't change the subject. This isn't about Itō. Mai, I understand that you're upset with me, but we should talk about this another time. Furthermore, that mask has nothing to do with you. You're wrong. Back in April, when Maya was held by knife point by another girl, it was the mask she was after. A mask your family is connected to. Looking for it? I suppose I'll be a fool to think I could help keep the truth out of my family past away from you. The past? Does this have to do with mom and dad? Yes, and so much more. I first saw the mask when I was a child, before you were born. The truth is, it belonged to a cult called the... What's that? The Kamikai? I don't know. Of which your parents were members? A cult? You're kidding. How did your parents get mixed up with that? I know how it sounds. I find it hard to believe myself. They were a group led by a guru named Tokimasa, who promised a simpler life away from the hypocrisy and falseness of the city life. Our parents both had master's degrees, and my mother was on her way of earning her PhD. They chose to give it up, their lives, and their careers to follow some mystic and live on a compound instead. The Kamikai were one of many such groups back then. I was a child and didn't understand, but think about how our parents were deceived in what they put me and Mai through. It's unforgivable. The mask was on the compound, but what purpose of it believed it could do, I don't know. Do you think are any other members of the Kamikai left who know? No, you see, there are no surviving members. They died, all of them, including our parents. I'm sorry I don't remember much about it. One night, Grandma came into the room where we were sleeping, saying we had to go. The compound was in the woods, so it was dark and I could barely see, but she kept charging forward with Mai in her arms and dragging me behind. When we were back in Tokyo several days later, Grandma told me about how our parents died. She didn't seem sad. It was as she expected it. The government censored much of what happened, and I was never able to learn how they died. Me and Grandma didn't speak of it, ignoring it as if my childhood and everything that just happened in those words were just a bad dream. If it wasn't for her, I'd probably be dead with our parents, but ignoring it could have eased the anger I felt towards them. I wonder if they even cared what would happen to us. As a high scholar, I spent more time trying to find out about the Kamikai than I did studying. I thought that if I could understand why my parents are so willing gave up their lives and abandoned us, I would stop feeling so betrayed. But I was wrong. Nothing I found gave me any peace. Mom and Dad died as some part of some cult? I don't believe it. It's true. I'm sorry I didn't tell you sooner. I guess that in hiding from it, I was able to hide away my feelings as well. I think for Grandma it was painful to talk about. I believe she took possession of the shrine in order to live a simpler life. We had to keep it a secret. There's no ways we could have a normal life with the stigma of the Kamikai attached to us. I suppose keeping that secret hurt us both dearly. For me, pursuing kendo gave me some measure of control of my life again. But Grandma, who made a choice to leave her own daughter behind, she always seemed to carry that guilt with her. She started going out at night, babbling about how she looked for Mom. When she came home, she had a rotten stink on her clothes. I was so scared to confront her, so I tipped off the police. They found her wandering in the sewers holding nothing but a mask. The same one from the cult compound all those years before, and the one you're holding now. I was shocked when they gave it to me. I haven't seen it for so long, and all the unpleasant memories from the past came flooding back. That was when I decided to leave, and it was the only way I could move on with my life. That doesn't account for how the mask ended up with your grandmother in the first place. I don't know how she got it. It seemingly appeared out of thin air, or maybe someone gave it to her. She never said. I left the mask with her. It always made me uneasy. It had a strange aura about it. What? Grandma was looking for Mom in the sewers? I don't remember any of this. You were in the dorms at the school at the time. Grandma's strange behavior was part of why I insisted on going to those private schools away from. I didn't drag you into this madness of the past. We parted ways without even speaking of it, and she was way better by the time you returned. Detective, what exactly is it that you're looking for? Surely our family's history isn't of use to you. I assume you've heard about what happened to my partner. This mask was there again when he died. It's more than an ornament. I know where it came from. If that's true, then I want to help. Your partner, he seemed like a nice person. No, Mai. You've helped plenty, but I have to do this on my own. Itō is right. I apologize for not telling you any of this sooner, but can't be involved in something so dangerous. I already thought I'd lost you that day in the shrine. I wouldn't have forgiven myself if something did happen to you. Alright, thank you for finally telling me the truth, Takashi. I'll head back for now. I hope you remember that I'm your sister. And I may not remember some things you do, but you're still family. I'll see you guys later. Thank you for your help, Mai. You're right, Mai. I'll come visit soon. It looked like she's gone. Mai's not here. There's no need to be coy. No doubt taking possession of that mask has taken its toll on you. Even in the brief time I was in contact with it, I felt like immense darkness behind it. I had such strange dreams, and so I never would have dreamed up on it my own. There was always an unusual air about it, and I couldn't stand to be around. Maybe lying to Mai makes me a hypocrite. All I know is I don't want her to get hurt. But like you said, I don't believe that mask is simply wood and paint, though. I doubt anyone else would believe us. No one ever did, except for one man. On the street, there's an old tea shop. Perhaps you saw it on your way in. An old historian named is occasionally. He was the only one that ever acknowledged what I said about the mask. The truth. If you're looking for information on the mask, he may be the best person to ask. I never pursued the topic with him, but I speak with him occasionally on other topics. His mind is a vault of valuable information. Hopefully he can shed some light on what this really is. I hope so, but please, Detective, be careful. Now we better be very careful. Into the tea shop. Bum ba dum bum. Welcome! Come in! Sit down! Do sit down! No need to be formal and stand there like a statue. How can I help you? Are you? Takashi told me to come speak with you. Oh, and how is Mr.? Still picky as ever, I suppose? I've always found him to be wise beyond his years, though perhaps not by choice. I digress. My apologies. This quirk that comes with the old age, you know. What does think I could help you with? I'm looking into a few related of the Kamikai, the group his family got mixed up with. Ah. A more difficult answer than you might expect, you see. There are two groups that share that name. The first, as you know, is a religious group formed by the guru Tokimasa. The second is an ancient order over 1,000 years old. What's that you're holding? I told it's related to the Kamakai, the new one, and that you could tell me about it? That explains many things, child. The far off eye look in your eyes for that one. I imagine you have many questions. Masks are interesting, as are they not? They are meant to be a disguise, and yet masks cannot lie and contort itself to hide the truth. In that sense, it is the mask that is more truthful than the human faces we hide underneath them. I wonder how you came into possession of an object with such dark history. I think it may be related to the missing person, but I don't know anything about it beyond that. But itself is the essence of history. Layers upon layers of personal connections that are continuously peeled back to their root. Relics like the one you're holding often take usual routes to where they end up. Relic? If it's from Kamakai cult from the 90s, then I hardly call it a relic. Misguided and deceptive as he was, Tokimasa was no fool. In order to gain new followers, he needed to gain his cult's historical legitimacy. He collected obscure objects and gave them new meanings that he could control in order to manipulate his followers. The mask was what he chose, along with the name of the group that he created. Interesting, isn't it? Yeah, I guess so. I guess I was hoping you could tell me something other things about it. For instance? Like why, now that about to say it out loud, it sounds kind of silly. I'm sorry to have bothered you. Don't be silly. You wonder, for example, why holding the mask seems to take another place? Or perhaps why you see visions that don't seem real? Why you feel a strong will exerting itself onto you? Oh yes, I know all about those things. How could you know about that? When Tokomasa was in possession of it, he believed it showed him a path to a realm of the gods. He wrote extensively on the subject. Though unlike most, I don't discount such phenomenon as ravings of a madman when phenomenon repeats itself. Do you too look into a little inky blackness and saw familiar shapes in the shadows? Not shadows, I see and hear people who are supposed to be dead. I find things I couldn't possibly have found otherwise. Very interesting. Tell me, detective. Oh, apologies. Do you mind if I call you that? I don't remember telling you I was a detective. Huh, my mistake. You must forgive me, a slip of the tongue. I believe it was the way you carried yourself. Determined investigators such as yourself have such a sense of purpose in their mannerism, and you do seem rather determined to get to the bottom of whatever is chasing you. Tell me, does me telling you that your experience and not illusion provide you any level of comfort? I'm not sure. But I do feel something, maybe hope. It's like I've finally got a foothold on solid ground. Ah, yes, knowledge is the light in the dark places, is it not? To think of a relic as such important would end up with a detective. Do you mind if I ask you something? Which do you believe? Are our lives controlled by fate? Per measured threads that determine our deeds, our wishes, our ends, the minute we come into existence? Or conversely, is our thread subject to be chaos inherent of the universe instead? Does it change according to the deeds? And that when it happens to us seemingly by accident? Do you believe it is fate or chance that decides which threads of lives are cut short and which are followed? Do you think it's fate or chance? I would think it's fate, I think. Yes, of course. Maybe you feel your life has been somewhat out of control of late. Control, huh? To be honest, I don't feel like I have much of that since the mask came to me. You said that the mask was named by the old Kamaka. Why? Confusing me can't be the purpose it was made for? Ah, yes, a more complicated answer than you might have wished for. Indeed, it should come as no surprise that the creation of such mysterious object is equally... Perhaps you should do me a favor. Don't worry. It is in relation to very topic. An important book has gone missing from my shop. If you could retrieve it for me, I feel it could shine a great deal of light on the subject. What kind of book? A book of missing variety. I'm sorry, I jest. It concerns the mask bearer. The mask bearer, huh? That's me, right? Although you carry it, it does not make you its bearer. All will become clearer when the book is returned to me. Sounds easy enough. Where can I start looking? Oh, you need not go far. The man who has it is right outside this building. In fact, as I said, it's not much of an errand, but of course cannot leave my shop. He's right outside? This won't take long. I'll be right back. Probably going to take long, depending on who we're going to go speak to. Ooh, it's getting hot today. It's probably the guy that's studying the octopus balls. This guy here. The old man. What? The old tea shop next door? Isn't that the place closed down? Closed? That can't be right. What else do you know about it? Pure conjecture on this one, but I think it might be owned by a kendo instructor from the dojo down the street. Account of him being the only one I've seen in there. You might not believe me, but I swear I saw him in there chatting away to himself. Possibly he's a little nuts. Then again, it might be some super awesome kendo meditation technique. Oh man, why didn't I think of that before? Next time I ought to ask him for some pointers instead of spying on him, eh? Word though, the grapevines is that he's the regional champion or something and has trained some of the best. Lots of cops train with him too, so he must be good. Maybe he's not crazy after all. Speaking of which, I have a bit of a crazy question for you. I know you said it was closed, but do you know anything about a book taken from there? Maybe recently? I was led to believe you would. Huh? Oh geez. Go on. Like I said, the place has been empty for years. But you know, I spent a lot of time outside it, and half the time the door was wide open. So one day, a few months back, I decided to take a look around, and nothing suspicious or nothing. I was just curious, that was all. Cough, huh? Curiosity killed the cat, right? Anyway, it was all dusty and old and weird stuff lying around, so I might have taken a little souvenir. I mean, it wasn't super old or nothing. I just figured nobody would miss it. Besides, it wasn't for me. It was for my kid brother. That guy can get deep into the dumps sometimes, so I try to stand by when that happens, you know? So I figured a little gift might cheer him up. And back then he was going through a particularly tough time. His bitch wife, part of my language, miss, had left him and taken their kid daughter with her. He still doesn't talk about it. He is in denial or something. Whoops, got off track again. I'm heading to visit with him with the ill book. I get this phone call saying that he's in hospital. He's on expensive sake and sleeping pills. Thank God the idiot decided to do it in the bar of his own with the door unlocked. A customer came in and called an ambulance. It was wherefore I'm not sure if he still be there. That's quite a story. Sounds like he wanted to be found. Yeah, I think so too. I think he was trying to ask for help in his own way. In any case, I took the book to him while he was in hospital, tried to show it to him even though he was at his lowest. There was something out there trying to do something nice for him, you know? I think it helped, for a minute anyhow. As soon as the doctors let him leave, he went right back to the toxic little bar. I hope he's okay. He's got issues, but he's a little brother, and I worry about him. Wait, do you think this is he's talking about Mr. Dazio at the bar? Because they almost look the same. Like, look at their faces and stuff. It sounds like it could be right. He's not been answering his phone calls lately. Originally, my brother's bitch ex-wife, sorry again, he had a brilliant idea to put his skills to work in some cheap part of town. Despite that, he's holding on to it with everything he's got. The place is slowly bankrupting him, but he won't let it go. All he has to do is sign some paper and move on, but he can't. Something about it claws him sank deep into him. I've been trying to get him out to join me in my business for years. He's a great chef and we could make a killing. Maybe it's not the same as owning a whole bar, but serving passers-by and getting some sunshine is good for the soul. Plus, food stands are going really well abroad, I hear. Much better than wasting away at any rate. Yeah, we know who this is. Yeah, we know. Come on, we know this. Yeah, it's a slimy little side of town. Anyway, if that book is important to you, he'll probably got it at his place. You want the address? Wait. I knew you looked familiar. Your brother's Dazio, right? You know him? Small world. Well, it's probably the smile on the face that threw you off. Tell him his brother Haruto says hi. While you're at it, tell him that the takoyaki stand are still the future of cuisine and to get his butt over here. Haha. I'll do that. Thanks for your help. Okay, so now we know. Now we freaking have answers, guys. Now we got some answers. We can't go into the butterfly club, but we can enter the bar now. He looks a lot more glamour than the other partner. Hi, how can I help you today? Hey, Dazio, how are things? Oh, you know, same old, same old. Funny thing, I met your brother while I was in today. Haruto? You met Haruto? What are the chances? Who knows? Maybe it was preordained. Huh? Who would have thought? So, is he still selling teriyaki at his stand? Did he say anything? He is. He said to remind you that teriyaki stands are the future of cuisine and that you should go and help him. Haha. Yeah, talk to Haruto, right? Oh, he's the optimist, that guy. I actually have a favor to ask you. Do you still have the book your brother gave you a few months ago? Huh? The only thing that guy gives me is headaches. Not sure if I can help you. He said he gave it to you when you were in the hospital. Oh, what makes you think I was in the hospital? I didn't even go to the hospital for checkups, huh? Besides that, adults bringing me stuff all the time. Always trying to drag me, kick me, screaming all over when the grass is greener. This would have been more recently, after a rough patch. Maybe it was stupid to come and ask. Oh, no, it's fine. That idiot always running his mouth. Freaking trader. Those were just some hard times, nothing serious. I just drank too much is all. Sigh. I'm sorry, detective, but I don't want to talk about it. Alright, understood. I'm not here to dig up bad memories, Dazio. Thanks, you said you were looking for a book, right? Truth is, I don't remember a book. I do remember her to giving me an old magazine, though, back in the hospital. It was one of those ones I used to read when I was younger, when things weren't so complicated. Wait, there's a second. I may have it in the storeroom still. Dang it, sorry. Hold on a sec. Amazing how much junk someone accumulates over years. Maybe I should throw some of this old stuff out, huh? Here it is. Ah, there she is on the cover.
It's yours, detective. Hey, no wonder I recognize that photo you brought by. It's the same girl, an idol named Ruby. Red? No, Ruby, you see. It says so right here on the cover. Pretty crazy that was in my shop. Guess that means you're still looking for her? I wonder why we keep running into each other. Must be fate. I don't buy it. You're a hell of a detective. You must have a pretty sharp nose. Ha! If you say so, Dazio. Do you mind if I take this? Like I said, it's yours. About time I started getting rid of some of the old junk. Thank you. See you around. Take care. Okay, so we've now completed that. I'm not 100% sure where we have to go now. Oh no, we probably have to go back to the tea room because he probably wants us to bring the book back to him. Yeah. Well, I thought a book, it's a magazine, so that's a bit of a... Enter the tea shop. Doo-doo. Ah, welcome back, detective. And is that my book I see in your hands? I can't help but say I'm surprised. Are you trying to tell me Reina is the smart bearer you mentioned? Very astute, detective. Does that surprise you? Every step I take is I hear her in my shadow. Oh. If the mask and the dark really are linked, then maybe it's true, but how? I only know that fate has entwined the girl's life with the forces in the mask. But the machinists, behind those circumstances are a mystery, I'm afraid. People always see history as something in the distant past, involving old men and black and white pictures. That book and that girl are as much part of the history as the rest. The shreds that connect the past to the present. The threads that connect the past to the present. And people to each other are not always apparent. But peel back the layers of the connections and the randomness of the universe comes into a neat order. How exactly does Reina relate to the ancient group? Something doesn't add up. Oh, on that, detective, we can agree. Perhaps one as perceptive as you can connect the line in a way that a creaky old mind like mine cannot. So why don't we start at the beginning? To how the masks ceased to be a mere object. The story started in ancient times in the year 1333. At that time was the capital of Japan, led by the Hojo clan, and it was the time of peace, prosperity, and enlightenment. Peace among men is cynical, and like so many before them and after, their time of peace came to an end. The Nita clan, loyal to the emperor Danjo, led a siege against the Hojo-controlled Kamaru, taking the city as the tide reached, leaving a key passage open to the invaders. The Hojo clan fled to the caves of their family temple. For them, there was no hope for victory or escape. They chose to retain their honor. Instead of surrendering, the 870 Hojo samurai, including the last 3 regions, committed mass suicide. However, the Hojo and the Nida clans, embroiled in their quest for the empire, could not see the role they played in the plans for another group, the religious sect known as the Kamikai. It is said that in the flames of a girl was seen wandering the streets, observing the carnage of the burning city. A girl lost to the historians by the name of Chikako, the last survivor of the Kamikai. They all died. Surely that means whenever the Kamikai were trying to do, they failed? No, they did not fail. Everything went exactly as planned. Did not survive by chance. She was chosen. Chosen for what? To receive the blessing of all the spiritual energy that so much death afforded, to become the first mask bearer. Mask bearer? The old Kamikaze used the deaths of all those people to create this? Why? Legend has it that the Kamikaze sought to contain the door, a rift leading to the spiritual realm, where our consciousness ceases to be and time holds no meaning, a place where cause and effect could be altered. A door? Reina referred to something like that too. But if it really exists, why is it so dangerous? Imagine being able to see the world as a god, so that the flow of time and the rules which govern our world are no consequence. Even the dead could be risen up. The danger was not the door itself, but men. To a mortal mind obsessed with the finality of death and meaningless of accomplishment, such power would corrupt absolutely. So a dark place was created to obscure the door and hide it from the mortal eyes, along with a tool that could control it. Impossible! As it is, this explains so much of what I've seen. If it is true, then finding the door is how I could bring him back? Some doors, no matter how strong they call to us, are not meant to be opened, and the Kamikaze willingly gave their lives to keep it that way. The mask opens the mind to all who come in contact with it, but if it's intended for its bearer, using it to find the door may destroy you. Maybe you're right, but I could at least use it to find a way into the dark, just like the collector said. The only thing is I don't get how Reina isn't connected. That is the mystery. As told you, the last known location of the mask was at the Kamikaze cult only a few decades ago. Much was suppressed about the Kamikaze under Tokomasa. They existed and then one day they met their end. A blink of an eye, as far as history is concerned. There were many theories that the police killed them during the raid of the compound, that someone within the cult had snapped and murdered them, all the others. Do you think Reina was involved with those people? I wonder if there's something about it left in the police headquarters. That is only where I would start. Finding out about the last days of the Kamikaze may help light the path to the truth. Though I wonder if such an object bred for suffering can truly put an end to it. Is it you who finally break this terrible cycle? Ah, I spent a long time here. I tried so tired. Farewell, detective. Okay, my investigation just went up. Okay. Sitting there comfortably, the historian casually laid out everything that he experienced like he was reading it out of a book. A mass suicide, ancient groups, and a door to a spiritual realm. It sounded like a myth. Interesting story told to travelers in a bygone era. It's hard to believe it's related to... I can see it. The bridge between the samurai and the young girl. He said Reina fit into the story. She's the mask bearer, but how? The collector, I thought when I met him I'd enter this world and could start to understand, however faintly. But my intuition as a detective tells me that there's something from me still. Maybe I'm overthinking it. I need to keep going. What day is it anyway? How long have I been chasing these leads? Days turns to nights, and hours bleed into each other. Even the seasons don't seem to follow the natural order anymore. Everything's blurred together. Ah, my head. Maybe I should take my medicine. Impossible as it seems, it's following the old man's hunch. It may be the best understanding of the mask. Even Takashi didn't know what happened to the Kamikaze. Finding the police report is my way forward. A few weeks ago, it would have been easy for me to ask and pull a file. It will be a bit more difficult now, I can imagine. What the worst that can happen? I should head to the police HQ and see what I can find. I wonder if you can go speak to him again. I doubt it though. I don't think you can try again with the procedure of... Okay, so we can't talk to him again. So let us head out. Okay, leave. Okay, so we can go to the police HQ. But we can't go home yet. We can't take our medicine. Damn it! Ooh, it's this guy again. Oh shit, you gotta be kidding me. Funny, me and some of the other guys were just talking about you after practice the other day. Specifically, we were taking bets on how long it would be before you show your face here again. Shame you coming in here now cost me 10,000 yen. Not that it matters. Ever since she left, things have been looking up for me. I won the last department kendo tournament and I'm been enjoying my promotion. Oh yeah, thanks to the new office, by the way. Anyway, non-active duty cops, or you in other words, aren't allowed in HQ right now, so what you want? Go to hell. I need a favor. Oh man, this just gets better and better. Begging me for favor? Huh, kinda figured I might come someday. So what do you want me to do, Itō? Sneak into the evidence locker, steal your gun back for you? Haha, like I'd do anything for you. The press have already told everyone in the damn station to stay clear of you. You considered bad luck for people's careers, well, myself excluded, I suppose. Wouldn't expect anyone else to do favors for you here out if I were you. And I'd rather not people see us talking and thinking that we're all friendly or something. Now get out of here before I call someone down here. There's some violence. Okay, exit the police station. I don't really want to follow the violent route. Because that's not me. I still can't go home, so I can only go back here. Maybe thing can, because he spoke about kendo. Maybe the brother can help me or something. I'm surprised to see you back. How can I help you, detective? I spoke to the historian. Oh, good, and? Takashi, what is he? I don't understand your question. He's one of them. Them, Itō, are you alright? He's just an old man. What else would he be? No, Takashi. You must have noticed there's something off about him. Like the collector. But not exactly like him. I'm not sure what he told you to scare you like this, but I've known him for years. He's a bit of eccentric and too philosophical for his own good, but he's harmless. Allow me to offer you some advice. What you're feeling right now is not him. It's you. The more time I spent researching the Kamikai in the past, the more I began to feel the world has gone mad. But it didn't. Its connector turned on its axis, as it always does. It was me who became unhinged. You could always walk away, Detective Itō. Some mysteries aren't worth solving. I was told your dojo trained some of the people at the police station. That's right, I trained many of them personally. Do you know Akira Taira, a detective from the Tokyo HQ? Ah yes, detective, I know him quite well. A man with a great deal of inherent talent in martial arts. Though the talent is offset by somewhat of his, how do you put it, brash personality. Brash is a very diplomatic way to put it. Sorry to put you on the spot, but it's the only usable link I got left in the station police force, and the one person who's trying to stop me the most. Seeing as you train him all the time, I was hoping you might know something that would change his mind, if you know what I mean. Are you asking me to help you blackmail? Beyond the obvious reasons why I wouldn't help you do that, I also happen to think it won't work. You may be surprised to hear this, detective, but detective actually lives in a fairly straightforward life. He's nothing that would draw any at least not among his fellow officers. He's engaged to be married soon as well. Someone actually agreed to marry that slime? That poor girl. Yes, a very nice girl apparently. They've been quite happy together. Oh yeah, Well, see how long that lasts. May I ask what exactly did to make you feel so strongly? Did to me? Huh? You should be asking him that. Ever since I started, he looked down on me. He never missed a chance to remind me how he felt. I ignored him because I figured it would work hard enough and earn my promotion. That it would shut him up for once and for all. You eventually got this promotion? I take it. Well, did he shut up like you thought? Nope, he got worse. It started with him spreading rumors about me sleeping around the HQ. Then there were various complaints to my supervisor. He couldn't stand that I won. It's all fallen apart now though, huh? He got my old job, everything. Every time I see him, he has a smug grin on his stupid face like he's mocking me. So you hate the fact that at least in his mind he was right. Something like that. Not the first person to think a woman didn't deserve a promotion I got. But it stung a little extra when he ended up at my desk. Yes, I thought so. I thought as much. You're not saying you think that brown-nosing, womanizing, lazy, good-for-nothing asshole actually deserves my spot, are you? No, I can't judge the inner workings of a police force, but what I've been heard is certainly wouldn't be the first time an officer didn't earn their promotion, honestly. Often I'd watch my students spar, and I've always noticed interesting trend, you see. Usually the outcome of the match has nothing to do with their skill. Is there a moral at the end of the story? Patience, Itō. You see, two students will face each other, but before they even draw their swords, they've decided the outcome. Students rank each other and themselves based on practice, their social status, their schools, or any number of things that before they even enter my dojo. A student perceiving himself as stronger will always be relaxed, more ready to attack, while the student who resigns themselves to defeat desperately defends. It's not a skill or merit that wins the battle, it's expectations. Do you see where I'm going with this? I do, but I'm not sure I like it. You're saying that unless I break picture me, I will keep losing, right? Exactly. For a man like who expects certain things of women, you defied him at every turn, but if I suck up to him and play the part, it might throw him off guard though. For me to win this fight sounds about right. Very perceptive. Here, this should help. Sake! It's a gift. Wow, that's so flattering. I barely even know you. I suppose in order to degrade myself like scum, like I could use a drink. It's not for you. It's for... Oh, and here I was thinking you were being nice. This is a very expensive brand. As a matter of fact, it's his favorite. A gift for his promotion. A promotion he stole? A promotion into my position? Think of it as a way to throw him off balance. You can strike at his heart until he drops his guard after all. You know how to play the role he expects of you. I suspect you know the type of woman he likes. Much as it pains me to admit it, that might work. Thanks for the sake. Okay, so we got ourselves a bottle of sake. No, we don't drink it. We don't drink it. Okay, so we got that. Okay, we still can't proceed anywhere else besides the HQ. Where is he now? Sigh. I can't believe I'm saying this, but I'm sorry. That's it, Itō. I've heard enough out of you. Wait, what? You heard it right, Tahara. I'm sorry. You're a good detective, and I never did congratulate you on your promotion. Here, this is for you. Huh? I get it. So you think bribing me is gonna work, huh? Kenomachi? Is that a bottle of Kenomachi? No way, it sells out in weeks. Even my family really manages to get a bottle of, and they know the people to ask. How did you get it? That's not important. Consider an apology for how I treated you in the past. I present this to you as a way to formally hand over my old position to you. It's clearly in better hands now. But... Oh, shame, man. Just how degrading this must be for her, eh? Shame. Itō, sit up, will ya? Itō, it's fine. Just sit up already. Okay. I accept your apology. Hell, didn't know how you felt that way. I mean, in the light of recent events and all, it's a long overdue. Guess with all the stress you've gone through, the delay is understandable. Glad you finally learned to manage your emotions appropriately. Thank you for your kind words, Detective. Once I return to the department, I know I'll have much to learn from you. Huh, hey, it's a little early to talk for that talk, don't you think? You don't even know if they'll let you back into the force after the hearing. Yes, I suppose you're right, Detective. I shouldn't have spoken so brashly. Ah, shame. Itō, stop that, please. I always thought you would be a better cop if you listened to your fellow detectives a bit more. I suppose there's a lot that you have to learn from me, eh? I know you're right, Detective. I was so brash before. That's probably how I ended up here. Yeah, no problem. Thanks for dropping this by, Itō. To tell you the truth, it's been a tough time for us. It's been better to stick together. We're all on the same team after all, right? Maybe once you're back, me and you can partner up. One can only hope I'll be so lucky. Right. Look, I gotta get back to my office. You need anything else? Well, I was thinking, but oh no, I couldn't possibly bother you. You're so busy. That's fine. I can handle it. Go on. Well, I know I shouldn't, but I've been doing a little research in the unofficial capacity, and I was wondering if you could pull a file for me. I can't give you access to the system. You're suspended, and besides, it'll be against regulations and... Sigh. I guess if you stay on the side of the counter, I could get to help you. Don't think it means that we're best friends or anything. It's just repayment for the Kenomachi. Oh, thank you. But, Detective, I wouldn't want to impose on you your busy schedule. Again? Stand up. Saki, I'm going back to my office. Look up the file Itō wants. Log the search query to my name. Got it? Yes, sir, of course. I'll be in my office all afternoon, so direct any calls there. Clear? Yes, sir. I think he's gone. Damn. I mean, I've twisted some guys around my finger before, but that was something else. Don't think it'll take long to get your office back if you keep working like that, Magic. Listen to me very closely. It's very, very important you train me how to do that for professional purposes. I think you're already on your own. Saki? Oh, fine. By the way, anyway, you got sign off. What did you want me to look up for you? On March 4th, 1996, there was a raid on a compound belonging to a cult named the Kamachi. I'd like the official report plus anything else you can find about it. Wow, that's some heavy reading material. I get it right on it, boss. Doesn't seem like there's much to go on here. Looks like there's only one file. Righto. I'll put it on a USB for you so you can take it with you. Just don't tell anyone. Here you go. Thanks, Saki. I owe you one. You owe me more than one. See you around. Okay, cool. So with that, we've done. But it looks like we can return to our apartment now only. So back to our apartment. We can't take our tablets yet. We can't talk to the cat, and we can't do anything else but look at the laptop. Okay, so here we go. Use the USB stick. Something doesn't smell right. there's a raid on a compound and all that's left is a lone debriefing doesn't add up. Not to mention so much of what is here is redacted. Officers arriving at the scene found 12 people dead on arrival, including Tokomasa and Mai's parents. Where are the details about how they died? Not to mention the report itself was filed almost a week after the raid, so why aren't there many autopsy reports? Says here 2 children and 1 adult I believe missing. That must be Mai, Takashi and their grandmother. Yes, that means Takashi was telling the truth after all. So many people have been hiding information from me, it's almost a relief. Still, for such a short report, it raises a whole lot of questions. The list of the dead, the cause of death, is there, if there were other survivors, what else they found, it's all lost. Even the location of the compound has been classified. All I know is that the mask was found in the middle of a pile of dead bodies. What the hell happened here? Was it a cover-up? Crazy. The report is unclear, but it's obviously that the mask had a part to play in those 12 people's deaths. A young girl's suicide made me aware of the dark, and I know now that the ancient mask can be used to find a door that may be a key of getting back. Learning about these 2 facets of mystery was supposed to be enough to show me how way to the dark. But even though I can feel the dark, something is still wrong. A piece is still missing. My gut tells me the missing information I need has to do with what happened to the Kamikai. I have to make the woman talk. She's the only one alive who could tell me what happened that night. Okay, so we can take our pills. The pills that the doctor gave me are right on the table. Cool. So we might as well take some so we can get some sanity back, hopefully. Okay, we've got some sanity. We lose some investigation. But I think our investigation skill is pretty high currently. Our sanity is only in the minus, so we are stable. I wouldn't recommend taking another pill because that would be like overdose. Okay, so we can only go back to one place currently. So try to get the grandmother to speak to us. Or if she will speak to us, that is the question. You! I told you to stay away from my family. Don't drag my grandchildren into this anymore. Then you already have. Stay back. I have questions about the Kamikai, the group your daughter and son-in-law were part of. You're the only one alive who'd remember. Kamikai? I don't know anything about it. Leave me. Grandma, enough. Listen to yourself. Do you even realize that you're lying anymore? Takashi told us everything. And you, Itō, just because this investigation is important to you doesn't give you the right to barge in here. Your grandmother and I need to talk. If it upsets you, maybe you should go. No, I'm not going anywhere. This is the house I grew up in, and it's as much mine as it is Grandma's. If you have something to say, you can say it in front of me. Only a little while ago, I found out my parents died in some cult, and no one else knows why. You think hearing that was easy for me? I want to help you, Itō, but all this deceit and lies are starting to hurt the people. What I'm chasing is so much worse. Tell that to the poor man in the station. He's in hospital now, terrified out of his wits. People aren't the only ones who get used for information and thrown away while you move on. They have lives too. And bringing up the past can hurt. Surely you of all people can understand that. I do, but ignoring the past won't make it go away. And there's unfinished business from the Kamikai that needs to be taken care of. But what's left to talk about? Everyone's dead, right? I promise to talk to you about all this later. For now, let me and the detective talk. Go on. You were cooking us dinner, weren't you? Alright, we'll talk about it later. But I'll be in the other room if you need me. So you found me out. Now that mine knows, I suppose there's no point in keeping it a secret any longer. The truth is, my daughter never would have joined the Kamikai if it weren't for me. I convinced her and her husband to join. I was already a member. At the time I joined, my husband had left me and I lost my job, suddenly leaving me a single, unemployed mother who could barely support her daughter. That's when Tokomasa found me and told me about the society that stigmatized and shunned me was fiction, a great machine to be found and to be fought, and that my very soul was at stake. Of course he used me as he did everyone else. I desperately wanted to hear that my struggle weren't my fault. They stole everything from me, my youth, my mind, they're my child. And then one day in 1996 they all died, the curse of death was buried and no autopsies were performed. Or if they were hidden. Why? That's simple. The government didn't care about some dead cultists in the woods and covered it all up so the papers wouldn't sensationalize their deaths. That's it. After everything I found, you expect me to believe that? 12 people died that day and no one knows why. What happened? Tell me the truth. You want to know what happened so badly? Fine, I'll tell you. They died for nothing, following in the footsteps of a madman who believed that life was an illusion. As the words of other compounds and other groups being raided spread, Tokomasa began warning us that the end was near. He believed that the world was collapsing and it was time for him and his followers to abandon the flesh and find purity among the gods. So just like other cults out there, they all eventually at one stage they do all commit suicide, and there's been a lot of the stories going like quite back of the different cults and stuff, and that's how they run. Some cultists, I don't know, it's just pretty crazy. This is getting dark and crazy, hey guys? Woo! Let's take a quick sip here. Throat's getting a little bit dry. My Imiko, she didn't die from some conspiracy. She chose death because she no longer had an anchor to reality, and it was my fault. Beyond that, I don't know what happened to them. No, you do know something. In the reports it says after the officers cleared the bodies, they found the mask. The same one you handed me 6 months ago. That Tokomasa would always keep it to himself, saying it granted him sight into the realm of the kami. I needed it. You don't understand. It allowed me to see strange things and people who were gone. The guru was a fool, a fake, but the mask was real. There was a rumor that the cult members were killed by one of their own. Surely you didn't. No, you don't understand. I would never kill my own child. I didn't take the mask. It was given to me. One day a man, some journalist or other, showed up at my door carrying the mask. I couldn't believe it. I begged him for it, and he stood there smiling at me. His eyes were like none that I've ever seen. It was strange. All he wanted in exchange for the mask was a picture of Imeko. When I joined the cult, I was forced to give up my possessions, and only had one left. But I gave it to him nevertheless. I thought if I had the mask that I could find her, then maybe she would forgive me. As soon as I had it in my hands, my mind opened. I could hear her voice. So you went into the sewers chasing after her, thinking you could save her? Takashi told you that as well, did he? Yes, it's true. Imiko was crying out to me, begging me to find her and free her from the dark place. I would have given anything to hold her in my arms again and plead for her forgiveness. I don't care if you don't believe me. Just like when he was calling out to me. I do believe you. We're probably some of the few people left alive who know what the mask is capable of. If you really thought it would help find her, then why'd you give it to me? Because I was wrong. At first I only followed whispers. Then I found myself in a strange labyrinth, chasing after her shadow. The days bled together. I lost track of my grandchildren, of the shrine. It was like illusion. No matter how hard I tried, I never found her. I only became more and more disconnected from the world around me. I descended into madness. I was being used again, just as Tokimasa had used me in many years before. I tried getting rid of it, throwing it away, burning it, none of it mattered, it always came back. And when I did, the visions and whispers only got worse. So I put it out of my mind and tried my best to live life in solitude and ignore the screams of my daughter. Then you came. And when you did, the mask was screaming out in voices I never heard before. I thought it was a sign, so I gave it to you. I didn't even have time to breathe a sign of relief before I heard the gunshot ring out. No one else ran to it. I think I was the only one who knew that sound for what it was. I thought the mask was punishing me once again by taking Maya away from me. Instead, it had passed tragedy to another. I'm sorry. Perhaps the knowledge of the mask should have died with us. There is one other person who knows about the mask. A girl named Reina. Does that name mean anything to you? No, I don't know anyone by that name. Do you expect me to know everyone who's touched the mask? No, but you were involved with a group that worshipped it. And are you sure you're telling me everything? Yes. What good will accusing an old woman do? Unless you're chasing someone too. That must be it. Maya told me you lost someone, your partner and the police. Is that right? If I'm right, then I suggest you stop your search. The place I've shown you by the mask is not meant to be for the living. I barely escaped with my life. Stop while your mind and body remain intact. What if I told you that there's another option? What other option? In the months since I first met you, I have had the time to examine the ancient texts in the shrine. And as the mask grew further away, it loosened its grip on my mind. I knew then it would someday make its way back to me, so I became determined to find a way to protect myself and my grandchildren from its influence. The darkness of the Kamaka and its ritual object are but manipulations used to sever our connection with what is truly divine. The mask breathes darkness. Dark forces can invade all manner of living and non-living things, driving them to violence or death. That in which evil cannot be used or tolerated. It must be destroyed. It is the only way to save us from the grip. Destroy the mask? I thought you said it couldn't be done. Not physically. Grandma, is everything alright? I overheard you talking about the mask again. Yes, dear. But you need to worry. In fact, it's good you hear about this. You hear as this talk involves you. You've trained in exorcism and purification rituals for quite some time, haven't you? Such a ritual could purify the mask and return it to its mere piece of wood, given we gather the right materials, of course. I can tell from the look in your eye that you think me senile, but I'm quite serious. Even modern rituals have ancient roots, and with enough conviction, they're still capable of great power. Before I was content to die, as long as the mask didn't hurt my children, as I was able to do what was necessary myself. But now seeing you here, I see a second chance to do what is right. If you truly know what the mask is, then you must help me destroy it. Slow down. I didn't come here to get involved in a ritual or exorcism or whatever you call it. I only want the truth about the Kamakai, which you still haven't given me. You're a stubborn one, aren't you? So be it. I see that there's only one way to change your mind. The only trace of what happened that day will be at the compound itself. The records of the location I've lost, and they were never made public, but I know where it is. What's the catch? Go there, search for your truth. See what worshipping the mask has wrought. When you return, you'll help me destroy it. What makes you so confident I changed my mind? I went back once years ago. In all honesty, I'm not sure why. Perhaps to remind myself of my sins. What I saw and felt in the place, it tainted by darkness and death. These two things are still in the mask will afford you. There is something else. I had a feeling you would say that. The heavy unnatural air I felt when I returned to the compound, it had the same stench, the same quality of the tunnels where I searched for Imako. Sounds like a superstition to me. So what exactly is it you want to exchange for the information? I believe the energies of the mask and the place are linked. I want to bring something back from there. Anything it may help in the ritual. Looking for the truth will not bring peace, detective. Purifying the mask very well might be. Remember that. The compound is in the forest of... Hey, that's the suicide forest. Suicide forest? What a dreadful name. Thought I suppose those woods have seen a fair share of tragedy and death. I tell you, you can't just go charging in there. It's dangerous. What if you get lost? GPS doesn't work there, and I heard even compasses won't point north. Not only that, but, well, a lot of people go there to die. I don't think you should go. You two keep talking about the mask like it's some evil spirit chasing you, causing you pain, but I think the pain you're feeling isn't caused by a mask. It's just you. So many nights after the girl died in the shrine, I had nightmares. Every corner I went around, I thought I'd see her there. It wasn't a ritual or charm that made it better. I just stopped listening to the fear. I confronted it. When you took me to see Takashi, that's the first time I left since April. It's embarrassing to admit, but I was scared. And yeah, Takashi telling me all that stuff about mom and dad was scary, but it was the truth. I wasn't hiding from some demon. I'd invented myself. Anyway, I know you might not listen to me, but I don't think you should put yourself in danger just so you can keep chasing your demons. Maybe you're right, but some demons have their way of spreading to others. Seeing the Kamakai compound is something I have to do. Well, it's your choice, but it's huge. How are you going to find one compound? Mai makes a good point. It's been a long day. Are you sure you remember where it is? Of course I do. I know what you two must think of me, but I'm not senile. It's a hike away from the bus stop on the outskirts of... We used to go into town occasionally for supplies. Several miles away from the bus stop there's a clearing path there, used time to time by forest services. I'll draw you a map before you leave. It's connected, it continues for quite some time. Eventually it'll be blocked off. Keep going forward and don't turn back or leave the path. The forest can play tricks on you. Supposedly the path is still there. It seems pretty incredible to me that the compound would be left alone for all these years. It still stands after all. Why would they bother to go and dismantle it? Go search for whatever truth you think you'll find, but be careful, detective. Do what must be done, then leave. Staying there is dangerous. I hope that once you've entered that place and feel the energy I did, you'll have the same sense to see what I never could. You understand, don't you? The mass must be purified. I understand. Good. I'll begin preparations for the ceremony regardless. Mai, see her out. She never said anything like that to me. You must have really scared her. Listen, I'll help you with the ritual because I think it'll help Grandma get better. But don't get yourself killed. I know in your eyes I'm probably just a kid, but I know how much it hurts to want the truth. Takashi obsessed over the past, and I was miserable. What? Miserable not knowing. Grandma almost went insane on top of that. Grandma said it herself. You're still young. You should forget about all this and start over. And you might not want to hear this, but listening to two talk about mass and spirits, well, you sound like that girl at the shrine. It scares me and should scare you too. Take care of yourself, Itō. Ah. Oh lord, I hope I didn't cause cuck now. I think I might have pressed the wrong button there. Okay, so we can go there, but we can't go anywhere else. So, well, let us travel here. And this will probably be where we will leave it off for today's part 5 episode. But let us get through this quickly, and then we can continue then. Finally, this must be the part the old woman was talking about. If her story was true, all I need to do is follow it to the compound. Let's hope it's that simple. No time to sit here and think about it though. I need to get out of these woods before nightfall. Okay. Well, we're in the woods. We're finding our way through. Our stats don't look too bad. We're pretty stable with our sanity. Our professionalism is still straight. Our investigation is meticulous, and our necrosis is relaxed. So I think we're pretty balanced out our stats. So hopefully we don't get too messed up as we play through. But damn, this is getting super interesting. I love the history behind it, and everything to do with the mask and the realms of the gods and the darkness. It's pretty cool. It's got like a big vibe to it. So we definitely going to be digging deeper into it on the next episode itself. So thank you all for stopping by, and we'll definitely see you on part 6 and see where Itō takes us and what is in store for us and how will this end. How will this end? That's the question that I'm going to leave you all. So do let me know down in the comments field what you think of the game so far and what the hell is going on, if you guys know. But you know, if you enjoy these type of games, go grab it on Steam. I think in our country here in South Africa, we have our currency in rands. It was $100, not too shabby, and it is still a pretty good game. Art style, graphics pretty good. Story has been freaking amazing so far. So everything ties in. I love the way that you have choices and decisions, and it can mess up the way you play the game. So that is great all around. So have yourselves a great afternoon further. From the Fallen Army and Sean, I'm out. Cheers, bye.